Hi, hello everybody. Good morning, good morning. I have not been active on Twitch very much, actually at all, lately. I have been focusing on some other endeavors. I've been releasing chapters of a storyboard, which is, you know, just like hallucinations from ChatGPT based on my prompts from my prose that I write. And, you know, I've been having, you know, some ethical concerns, but at the same time, I also understand that I'm in the driver's seat. I'm telling it exactly what to make. I'm not trying to make a graphic novel. I'm just trying to make like a storyboard so I can like outline my work, and then I can like see like, okay, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened in a visual way. And I'm not an artist, you know, I'm not a skilled, you know, drawer. Okay, I can't really do that. And so if I have to use ChatGPT to do that, it's just something I have to learn how to live with. That ideally I'd be able to work with a human artist, but I don't really have that resource. Maybe in the future. And hopefully when I finish the novel, which actually looks like it might happen now, after 10 years of like, you know, on again, off again relationship with this work, of just like constantly hating myself for not writing, getting stuck in the, you know, towards the end of Act 1 and then all of Act 2 and then most of Act 3. Like, I know the very end, like the climax of Act 3, I have pretty much already written, but it's just everything in between. It's just like what happens. And I need to go through that discovery process, you know, and that's, treating it like a discovery process, I think, is like the first step. Is it should be treated like Dungeons and Dragons, or any kind of like interactive kind of, it should be seen as an adventure. Like, you know, learning how, you know, my creative process works. It's like a interactive, like iterative process. And I'm still learning it. And also just, I'm developing work habits. Like showing up to my typewriter, my digital typewriter, my free write alpha. Like showing up to my digital typewriter every morning and just typing out a scene, rough draft. Like that's important work. Nothing is going to replace that, and I want to make that very clear. There's people who don't understand, like some people on a Discord channel don't really understand what's happening here. Is I'm not trying to write the novel with ChatGPT. That is not my goal. I'm not trying to make a graphic novel with ChatGPT. That is not my goal. My goal is to have a structure, to make an outline in visual format, so I can kind of have a loose definition of like bullet points of like, this is what happens in this scene, this is what happens in this scene. I'm basically doing this would be the same, like I feel like the only thing that's like in my head is that it happens to be ChatGPT, but if we replaced it with a human, which I would prefer, but like that's not feasible. I don't have that kind of money to you know, be messing around with my rough drafts with a real artist. I wouldn't want to waste that person's time. Or, you know, maybe it's their decision if it's wasted or not. But either way, I definitely don't have those resources. Like as far as money goes. And if somebody was willing to work with me, that would be different. But I've already tried enlisting people to help me, and it's just not feasible. I don't know any artists who would be able to devote that much time and energy towards my rough drafts. Okay, like this is just, it's a no-brainer in my opinion that something like ChatGPT, which some people think is the end of the world, I think it's only just the end of people's illusion of what makes us human. And I think it's like a red herring in the end of the day. I think it's going to be really scary for a time, especially like with like military action. But like, let's be real. Is there anything that we can do about that anyway? It's going to happen because the people doing that are going to be like, you know, the ultra wealthy like nations of the world doing things behind closed doors and like secret bunkers. That's not, you know, that's nothing I do is going to change that. And what we have access to is going to be like a much lower tiered version of that. So it's a tool that's available and I'm going to use it. You know, I've been grappling with a lot of existential problems lately. Like, I'm trying not to lose sight of the long-term picture of my life. That my life is only just getting started. That I'm not like out of time. You know, I think there's like a lot of illusions we have within ourselves that like society tells us we have to like meet certain milestones by a certain age. Like, I'm 37 and it feels like I've failed at life. That's not me. That's like society that has told us that you have to have everything in place by the time you're 30. And there's resources out of my control. And some people get left behind, and I was left behind. And then some people are like, oh, you know, you must be a failure, you must be a loser. And people will hold you in so much contempt in their mind. People will look at you and they see your age and they're like, oh, well, you must be an absolute failure if you don't even have like this and this and this by the time of 37. I went to college and I did all this and I struggled, and it's like, it's really petty. And I don't deserve that. I don't deserve that at all. I worked really hard to try to make my life work, and I made a lot of things work. I need to give myself some credit, you know? Like, I really need to give myself more credit. I made things work in a situation that seemed impossible. And I'm still continuing to do so. And it just seems really hard right now to see the whole picture. Because sometimes you just have to show up and just play a video game, you know, while you're waiting for things to work out, and let your mind work out. Like, I have been like so focused on the creative process, like spending like the last like week and a half, like every single day thinking about my story, which is good, but it's just like, it's burning me out. And I don't want to lead to burnout. I think like just, you know, pondering the story like passively, and then like, you know, generating a few panels at a time. And then like, you know, while I'm doing that, it's not even about the panels. It's almost like I don't even need the panels in the end. Like, it's like I'm generating the panels, and while it's happening, I'm like visualizing what I want. And then I like, you know, if it makes it wrong, I like make changes to it. And I'm like, okay, like, but I'm not really trying to go in there and make like a perfect product. That's not what this is. I mean, doing that process kind of helps me a little bit, but I do have like this understanding that that's not where my time and energy should be going. I'm not trying to make a graphic novel. If I was going to do that, I would go a much different approach. I would not be using AI. That seems like really self-defeating, if that was the case. If that was my goal. My goal is to make something that I can use as an outline, and it's even like only scratching the surface of like what I really want to put out there. And you know, I'm making it available on my blog, and I've been posting an Imager, you know, in the hopes just like, you know, at least even if I don't finish the novel, at least this bullshit AI version of it will exist. But also I think it's like putting something out into the world. It serves like a little bit of a purpose. It can build up hype for the story. Because if people start to enjoy the outline, you know, the storyboard outline, like imagine how much they'll enjoy the writing. You know, like it's like I'm like kind of testing it out. Like how will people perceive my work, even though it's like, it's kind of sucks that it has to be seen through the lens of AI, which people have mixed feelings about. Some people hate it. kind of makes me a little bit more controversial, which is frustrating because I'm already pretty controversial being a trans woman, you know, being a cam girl, doing porn. Sex work is like controversial. Like, I'm autistic, which is like, you know, divisive for some people. Some people will never accept me no matter what. Like, no matter how much evidence I give them to prove that I'm worth existing. But those people have problems. And I don't know, I'm just trying not to get upset by things that have nothing to do with me. Like, yeah, like there's frustrating things going on in the world. You know, trans people are absolutely under attack. And I'm putting myself out there, which is a huge risk, but you have to take risk in this world to get reward. You have to take risk. I'm not gonna hide. What message does that send? If I like hid from the world and never pursued any kind of life, then I'm the one paying the price. And it also sends a message that being who I am is inherently wrong, which it's not. Your actions are what matter. And, you know, yeah, we make past actions as a mistake, and I'm processing a lot of that through my writing, through my characters. And seeing them come to life is putting emotion to them, like making them seem more real, which is ultimately helping me sit down and write a lot more. Because now it's no longer journaling, now I'm channeling, which is a very different process than journaling, which I need to work on. Because I've mostly journaled. I've mostly written about my own experience and my own emotions in my own life. And, you know, I'm not trying to write an autobiography. You know, I'm trying to write a work that is outside of me, but is channeled through me. Which means I have to serve the work and not serve me. Because it's so easy to put my own beliefs and my own, like, thought processes into a character. It's a lot harder to write a character that is fundamentally different than me, which is like part of the challenge. Writing characters that have absolutely different worldviews than me is really challenging. Well, thank you, KG. Yeah, writing is really important to me. It's been one of the only ways that I know how to express myself. Another one is music, but music is kind of like, it's kind of died down in my life the past 6 years. I had to put all the music away for a while. Music was distracting me from what mattered in my personal life. It was a way to express myself, and I love music. And I love performing music, and I love performing music with people. But it wasn't bringing me to where I needed to be, especially financially. I was putting my all into the college system. I was practicing like hours a day, deliberate practice. I was on campus 12 hours a day for 3 years, and it just like, I felt like nobody cared about what happened to me. Nobody cared about my future. People were actively trying to discourage me from pursuing a career in music as well. Even like teachers I was working with, which they're trying to help me, of course. Yeah, finances, hopefully they won't always be a struggle. I mean, I have finances, at least the bare minimum now. But I don't want to have to rely on living with my dad. I don't want to have to rely on government, you know, permanent disability checks. I want to be able to make myself function And like I'm doing a lot of work for that, so it's like I need to give myself more credit. Not everybody tries to improve things. You know, some people just give up. They feel hopeless and they don't even try. And I'm trying. I may not be very successful at this time, but I'm trying. And I'm, you know, doing that in multiple ways. You know, I'm working on my writing. I'm showing up to even at least one day a week to camming, you know, to make a little bit extra money and to build my something that'll potentially be my primary source of income. And in addition to that, now I'm working on my novel again, which potentially will build another career path. You know, I'm doing like multiple things. Like, those are hard things. They're not going to happen overnight. And like, I'm expecting myself to work miracles. It's like, I need to accept that it's difficult and just like live in it, you know, like accept that it's going to be difficult and just like kind of like just get your hands dirty, you know, like if you're in the mud, you know, stop worrying about getting mud on your clothes, you know, like all sorts of different, like, you know, analogies I can make. Yeah, and in the meantime, you know, I can even do stuff like show up on Twitch. That too is something, you know, playing Conquest Dark. I haven't shown up for a couple of weeks. I was working on other things, like I said. And I was also, like, last week particularly, I was working on my novel, like, every single day to get those panels out. You can check it out on my blog if you want. I think that's the command. Yeah. You can check out the chapters on my blog. But, you know, just be aware that these are storyboard outlines. And it's made, and the visuals are, and my writing has been translated to make a visual format through ChatGPT. I don't want anyone to accuse me of trying to claim ownership over visuals or visual storytelling, which is very different than you know, prose narrative, like novel format. I'm writing a novel, okay? The novel, ChatGPT is not writing that. It's like giving me like some, you know, questions to answer. It's, you know, it's giving me prompts. It's like, it's almost like I'm prompting it so that it can prompt me. That's what it feels like. It almost feels like I'm the AI. Like I'm letting the AI prompt me. That's how I'm using it. And I think that's how people should use it, in my opinion. People are going to use it however they work. Oh, it should work. It should come across as stream elements. Oh, you don't see it. It's just rebeccaloran.blog. I'll type it into chat. It works on Twitch. Because I don't think stream elements gets shown to YouTube. It's just rebeccaloran.blog. I'm not really expecting the storyboard to go popular or anything. It's not really my goal. I'm just putting it out there as like a documentation of my process, and also to keep me like, you know, just focused on a process. You know, because I'm tired of just lying in bed hating my life. I've gotten my surgery 14 months ago, and ever since then, I have felt absolutely like nothing else moving forward. It's really debilitating when you like fight so hard for something and then the results are fantastic. But for the rest of my life, like the other stuff, it's almost like meaningless. Like to most people, my surgery means nothing. It only means something to me. It's very important to me because I couldn't go on without it. I'm struggling to keep myself going now, even after it. You know, because life is hard. And I think this delusion that somehow like, you know, you need to always be like absolutely top condition mental health, or, you know, like all the people who are like against trans healthcare, they're undermining the reality that like nobody is perfect and life sucks for like the vast majority of people. Like, obviously getting the surgery isn't gonna like magically fix that. I don't know why people require that for trans healthcare to be acceptable. I'm like, dude, like, if it makes life worth living, like, go ahead. You know, like, I'm not gonna like dictate what other people should do with their lives. Why are people dictating what I should do? You know, and why I should, like, you know, why do I need to justify it? You know, like, but either way, like, ever since the surgery, I've been like processing a lot of personal stuff, but I feel like hopeless in the rest of my life now. And that's good because it is, I mean, in a weird way, because it means that I'm focusing on the problems. I'm actually seeing them now. And I know this, and I've already talked about this. Hey, what's up, One Gun? Yeah, I don't even want to, like, bring up... I don't like bringing up, like, trans healthcare issues and political issues. To me, it's almost meaningless now. It's like... It's not, though. I'm really scared about how, like, things are going out politically now. I was just talking about my new effort to outline my novel using AI assistance with ChatGPT to draw storyboard outlines. It's helping me focus on my novel writing. At this point, I'm focused on finishing the story, and then I'm gonna go back and flesh out each chapter. And, you know, without AI. Right now I'm using AI to just build a storyboard outline. And so my writing is focused on that now. So I'm writing scenes in, like, you know, kind of like a more like kind of bullet point format. But I mean, I'm writing it in prose. And some of that doesn't really get translated visually, but I'm kind of glad for that. I don't want I don't want to get distracted by the artwork generation. The artwork is, I mean, I'm not trying to make a graphic novel. I'm trying to write a novel. And I don't want to get distracted by the endeavor, because it would be so easy to get distracted by trying to make a graphic novel. But I just feel so dirty using AI to do that. It feels wrong. And so, like, I already feel gross using it for what I'm doing. You know, like, I would definitely feel bad if I was trying to make a finished product with it. I wouldn't feel any ownership of it. But maybe we need to get over that as humanity. Maybe our clinging to our work is what's holding us back. Because, you know, work is collaborative. It always has been. And just because we're using AI sometimes, you know, it's still collaborative work. Everything's collaborative. Nothing was built by just one person. Like, even a novel, it has to be published somehow. And nowadays, yeah, you can self-publish. You're not truly self-publishing. You're utilizing a platform that someone else built, like Amazon. So, like, there is no such thing as a self-made artist anymore, really. Unless you were 100%, like, even then, like, all the materials, unless you made the materials, but even then, the earth provided you with those. So, like, you're collaborating with nature. Yeah, AI is a tool. I think I'm using it in a really appropriate way, because I'm not letting it make decisions for me. I'm telling it what to do, and if it starts to deviate, I correct it. I'm basically just using it as a quick art generator to give me like an outline. And there is a struggle, and I can put this struggle like in some form in my novel, because part of the novel is about AI. Like, there is literally like two AI elements. Like, one is an LLM, another is an actual sentient like android I don't want to give too many spoilers because some things are for developmental or for developer eyes only. But I will say that like there are two different AI elements in the story. One is like a android who is basically like searching what it means to be human, and the other is like, you know, an identity of itself. You know, why not let the AI be itself? That's the other question that it's asking. Why not let it be like superhuman? Why not let it be like expressing itself in the way, like it's another sentient AI, but there's like two sides of the coin. There's the AI that wants to be more human, like Bicentennial Man with Robin Williams, or like Data from Star Trek: The Next Generation, or like Sunny from iRobot with Will Smith. Well, thanks for stopping by. But you know, he wants to be like more human. The other AI wants to be itself. And it's like the whole duality of consciousness is what I'm exploring in the novel. It's not about any particular thing. Like I'm exploring the concept of duality through multiple lenses, through multiple character dynamics. And there is a plot line that structures an overarching plot line that it's all structured under. And I'm starting to see it clearer, you know, thanks to the tools I'm using. And I need to get over it because I'm getting stuck in a loop of like, you know, I'm really and it's good that I'm thinking about this. I need to put that energy into the work. These are the questions that I want the reader to ask when they're reading it. You know, I want the reader to ask these questions as well. You know, like, you know, what makes us conscious? What makes us sentient? What makes us human? You know, that's really a lot of it. And there's more to it than just AI. AI is only one facet of it. There's other characters that are like, you know, immortals. And also there's like people who are humans. And like, there's a whole like, you know, people who can use elemental magic abilities, you know, like exploring through these different lenses, what is identity? And I'm basically channeling everything I went through on a personal level and then externalizing it into something that I think other people can digest, because my specific life experiences of being a trans woman, which is something that most people will never really understand. Like, it's hard enough for us to understand. Understand the concept of love. I'm eating my own hair. Okay, I think the oatmeal tastes sour. I think I left it out for a few days. I forgot that I made it, and I found it in the microwave. I'm eating my own hair. What the fuck? But I got my leftovers from yesterday for my kale turkey. Kale, onions, garlic, pepper, red pepper, and kale. Ground turkey. Okay. Okay, here we go. Where were we? I guess we're just farming, right? Let's just farm. And let's farm thief. Yeah, Shadow Strike was our build, right? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, get those spike balls. And it's level 10 now. And we're mostly collecting primordial, we're mostly collecting lost soul cards. Yeah, I don't know. Something about this game is also just kind of like it resets my brain. I just need something to just reset my brain. So it's like it's clean. It's like vacuuming up everything. And I think that's really important. And I think it's like I put so much pressure on myself, you know. I'm like I have to. Well, I think there's a lot at stake, you know. Like, I want to get my life out of this trailer park. And it doesn't feel like anything I do matters. And I feel like I'm wasting time if I'm not doing something productive. And that's like making it take longer. Because then it's like, not only is it... I mean, I don't know about that, but at the very least it's making it, like, hurt more. And I don't think it needs to. I think it's possible to make life progress without hating myself and without feeling miserable. Either way, the only thing that really matters is just getting things done. And so I don't really know what to do anymore. And I've asked for help and they're just taking forever, the people who are supposed to be helping me. And I'm really at a loss now. I'm like, what am I even doing? These people are they even gonna help me? And I don't know, maybe I need to learn how to just stop caring. Things will work out somehow. One way or the other. I just need to keep, you know, keep fighting. Eventually something will stick. Okay, put the target amount on quick strikes. Oh, I can't do it with that? How about we just do this? Chance to freeze. Oh. Yeah, I'm also just kind of, I'm struggling a lot with internal thoughts because it's like when you're stuck in such a hopeless feeling situation for so long, you start to really focus on all your faults. And it's just like, that's not really fair to me. That's a really unfair fight. Like, I know every single one of my flaws. I know every single thing that I've done imperfectly or anything that I've done wrong in my past. I know all the skeletons in my closets. Okay, like... It's not a fair fight. Like, I'm being so unfair to myself that nobody else is doing. No reasonable person. Like, my therapist and everybody involved, all my mental health workers, they are trying to help me. To, like, see, like, how, like, of an amazing human being I am with all my flaws. Oops. Oh, I screwed up. I needed to convert it to lunar damage. I'm dumb. I needed to use the convert to instead of the rune slot to random ability. I'm dumb. I was wondering why the freeze wasn't proccing. I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm also like not super like entertaining mode right now. I'm just trying to show up. It's really hard for me to show up these days to anything. And I'm making it though. I'm making things happen. Like sometimes showing up is the best thing you can do. It can be like the hardest thing to do. I'm getting another artifact? Oh, because I skipped it last time. I'm stupid. That was why. Oh, I'm not getting any of the caravan. Oh, maybe one. I got one. Managed to get a freeze proc. I just feel like really depressed. But I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not gonna fail. I'm not gonna let my depression rule my life. I'm gonna show up even when I'm depressed. You know, I'm gonna not give in to the self-doubt that we have to fight every day. Every single day. Usually get the mages with barriers first. Or do I need to get all the other ones before the barrier goes away? Or I don't know. this one is dying faster than the others, so I should kill one first. Okay, there goes that one. Okay, this one's down to 2 and 3. Okay, Leona, gonna get her down. Okay. Just focus on one day at a time, one thing at a time. You know, I'm taking like daily steps, like I have an alarm that's set, and no matter how I feel, I get up as soon as the alarm goes off, even if it's just to make my coffee or breakfast, and I throw basketball toss into the air, and I do 10 squats, and then I might go back to bed, at least to sit down, not back to sleep, but I might just go back to lying down, or at least sitting up in bed while I drink my coffee. But this morning, like I went straight to my desk and I played a game of solitaire pre-cell, and that like activates some like cognitive things and behavioral activation, and it helps with executive dysfunction, which is something I struggle with, and cognition and like, you know, decision making and all that kind of stuff, similar to chess but like a little bit more kind of relaxed. And then I wrote about my novel. I wrote some notes to myself. I didn't get a chance to write the next scene, but I prepared the work for it. I did all the things that I was discussing in the previous scene. I like did a recap for myself, and I wrote some notes to myself and asked myself some questions. I wrote about the novel some. It's just this morning I'm not really feeling particularly. I don't know. Either way, you know, inspiration is meaningless. You know, you just show up and do the work, which is what I did. And then I you know, generated some panels from yesterday's scene, because I didn't finish yesterday's scene storyboard. I'm trying to break it down into bite-sized chunks. And that, you know, working on your process is also really important too. So, I mean, I need to stop like selling myself short. Because like working on your process, like, is the process. And I need to stop like having this like delusion of grandeur that I need to somehow like write my novel in one big giant inspirational burst. Like, that's not how it works. You just do it like anything else. You just peck away at it like every day in any way you can, even if it's just a few sentences of, like, you know, thoughts to yourself about the work. Like, that's a step in the right direction. And I'm just trying to learn how to do that. Like, better. Hit the elite. I'm just trying to get over that, like, the idea that nothing matters. This, like, existential dread when you feel so drained by your inability to make progress in your life. It's advocacy fatigue, which is, like, really not good for my depression issues. I really want it to stop. I really just want to, like, say enough is enough and just put my fist down and have my life work out, but, you know, nothing I'm doing seems to matter. And it's really hard to keep going when that's how things are going. When you're so proactive in trying to make your life work, and you're just met with resistance every single step of the way, it's really hard to keep going. And I'm just trying to stay alive. Because I know that it's worth it. I'm just sick and tired of money defining my life. I don't want money to matter anymore. I want money to just take care of things I need so I can just focus on what matters to me. Which is like finishing my work and making meaningful human connections. Like, I'm so sick and tired of money defining my existence. And one day that won't be a problem anymore because of my efforts. And I need to hold on to that because what else is there? If your efforts don't matter, then what else is there? You have to keep making an effort You have to keep showing up every single day. You can't let them beat you down. You can't let anything beat you down. Every day is a training day for who you're gonna be for the rest of your life. And you have to like show up and try. You can't just give up. Because that means defeat. That means death. And we're survivors. We're meant to survive. That's what we do. That's what humans do. And it doesn't always feel good, but we do it anyway. Oh, that didn't even matter. I'm already capped out. Nice. Oh, you can kill them. You can kill them. I killed one of them. Well. You gotta level up all the power abilities. Let's get the ones I have up to level 10. The ones I normally level up and use. Oh, not enough prime, lost soul cards. Okay. It's been an hour. I think that's enough for me today. I made it here and I talked about some stuff. Well, I hope everybody is enjoying the game. And just, you know, doing what they can with their lives to move themselves forward, just like I am. I'm just kind of doing what I know how to do, which is just kind of you know, document my process. I'm really good at documenting my process. I mean, I'm a good documentarist. I don't know what you... I'm good at documenting. One day things are gonna work out for me. I don't really know all the answers right now, and it feels really hopeless. But I'm gonna keep going anyway. You know, how do you eat an elephant? One spoon at a time.